Sweet Art Made Simple. I'm Jill from Sweet Art Factory, and today it's Valentine's Day, and I'm going to show you 3 simple ways to decorate cupcakes with just a few ingredients that you can find at your craft store or grocery store, and we're gonna get started right now. Well, I get comments all the time how I get my frosting to look glossy like that. Well, it's really simple. All you do is you buy a tub of frosting, not the whipped kind, just the tub of frosting in the grocery store. You put it in a bowl and zap it in the microwave for about 20 seconds till it almost looks like soup like this. Okay, and I just stir it. Then taking a baked cupcake, I just dip it in, I lift it up and kind of let it swirl a little bit. And then it's nice and glossy, and it takes about 15 minutes for it to dry before you're ready to actually decorate and put things on it. So today I'm going to show you a few designs just using some fondant. This is some white fondant that we're going to use today, some red fondant, and then some mini cookie cutters. I've got a heart cookie cutter. This is a 2-inch. I have a little lips that we're going to use, and then another different type of heart. But of course you can use any type of cutters, and if you don't have the cookie cutters, you can actually just draw it on a piece of paper, cut it out with scissors, and make a template, and then just actually use a knife to cut around the fondant when you're ready. Or you can just buy different types of candies and do it like this. So today I'm going to show you how to make this I love you fondant heart that we're going to stick on the cupcake. Another one we're going to show you is a heart that I just took a toothpick and found some stickers at the craft store, and we're going to make a little heart and arrow, which is kind of cute. And then this is just a little lips that I made, and I put a little bit of fondant on the back to give it some lift, and then some red hots that we're going to put around it. So let's get started. So first we're going to make this I love you heart that we're going to stick on. So I'm going to take a little bit of my fondant, not very much. I always have to remember that people don't like to eat a lot of fondant. There's a lot of interest in fondant right now. A lot of people decorate and cover their entire cakes with fondant. Some people like it and some people don't. So I'm always really careful not to overdo it with the fondant. So using a cutter, making sure I have a nice size, I'm just going to cut down. Now when you use a cutter, you don't want to lift up right now. You want to tear away the sides so I don't get those jagged edges. Okay? And put that over the side, and I always put my finger in there to lift up. If there happens to be jagged edges, just use the heat of your hand, your finger, to kind of soften it around like that. Now these are called edible markers. They come in all different colors. We sell them on our website at sweetartfactory.com, but you can also find them at your local craft stores in the cake section. And you can write anything on there. On this one I wrote I love you. But right here I'm going to just write the word love, since we're doing Valentine's Day. And if you're making a lot of cupcakes, then you can just make a lot of different things on there. Okay, like that. Now I just have a little tip right here. I'm just going to make little presses in to kind of make it look like it's leather. You know, I like that kind of indent look. You don't have to do this, but this is kind of a little fun thing. You can use any type of object to make impressions in fondant. And then just very carefully, you're just going to lay it right on top of your cupcake to make it, doesn't it look cool? Just like that. All right, let's set that off to the side. The next one we're going to do is this heart with the arrow through it. Again, I'm going to use some red fondant. And using a rolling pin or a fondant roller, just going to roll it out. Now I'm going to use what's called an impression sheet. If you don't have these, then don't worry about it, but it is fun to have. We sell tons of them, and a lot of decorators have them. They also sell them at the craft stores, which is kind of fun. They sell them in the polymer clay section as well. So you're just going to place it on, and you're just going to press down like that, and then just very lightly you're going to roll over the top like that, and then you're going to lift up. Now since my impression is an up and down, I want to make sure that when I use my heart that is also along the same lines. I'm just going to press down. Once again, I'm just going to pull away the sides while I'm pressing. And stick my finger through like that. And then using a toothpick. Now I found toothpicks that were actually colored. They came in a variety, so I took the red ones out. And then let me stick this up. I just kind of did it like I was sewing. Kind of fun. Now if you have small children, you really do want to be careful with the toothpicks. I mean, you would hope that they would know not to put that in their mouths, but if you're watching kids, make sure. And then I have these different stickers, and I just put one on one end and stuck it on there. And then, actually you might have to use some tape if it's not sticking. It's a little cold in here today. And then another one for the other part. And then it comes out just like that. See how easy that was? And then I'm just going to stick that on my cupcake. So now, in a quick second, we have 2 cupcakes super fast. All right. Then the last cupcake I'm going to show you is, I used a mini lips cupcake cutter. And again, you're going to use some fondant. And you can use white fondant or red fondant, whichever one you want to use. I'm just going to roll it out. But this time I want to make it a little bit thicker. And roll it up just a little bit more. Even a little bit more. Those lips are a little bit longer than I thought. Okay. There you go. I'm going to stick that in there. Now because I want to have the impression of the lips, you either can use your fingers to make like a little line like this, or you can take a knife or little scissors. And then taking a little tiny bit of fondant in the back. Going to put it in the back like that, so that kind of plumps up. Now the other one that I had, I let dry overnight, so it's a little bit sturdier to put on there. So I'm going to actually use this one. Stick that just like this. And then I just have these little red hots. Ooh, they're flying out of my hands. And I'm just going to put those around like that. So see how simple that is? So with just a few things that you can do, you can really make some fun Valentine's cupcakes for your Valentine's party. Also, if it's not Valentine's Day, you can do this for a bridal shower or a wedding or a special event. Sky's the limit. I hope you guys have a lot of fun. This is really simple to do. Great ideas for your holiday and your Valentine's party. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.